Hey guys, I wanted to, oh god, my hair, it's such a mess. I wanted to go live and talk about something that has kind of been weighing on my heart the past couple days. I've been sick, so I have like all this free time to like sit in my head and my thoughts and like think. It's terrible sometimes. Anyway, but I've been thinking a lot lately about the Scentsy culture and different like lessons I've learned over the last almost 2 years by like, hi Tina, but by like not like deliberately, but like not really like living out or holding up to or living up to the three core values. Because it's cold in here, Bobby K. It is so cold in my apartment. It's ridiculous. It goes from like ridiculously hot to freezing cold in the like from the summer to the winter because, well, it's a long story, but anyway, breaking out the space heaters. Anyway, so like it wasn't that I was like purposefully not like trying to not live up to the three core values, but like sometimes ambition and like competition and like the drive for success like kind of like blinds me from seeing like what's really important, because I have these goals, right? And like I'm a goal driven person. I think we all are. We like all want better for ourselves and we all want different for ourselves, right? So we get like stuck on a goal and we forget sometimes like what matters the most in achieving that goal, right? So I wanted to go live and talk about the three core values of Scentsy because I lose track of them and I get so like competitive and like focused on like numbers and promoting and like when's it gonna happen and blah 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 that I get so distracted from like what really should matter, right? And like the holidays are coming, like the season of, well, they call it the season of Jesus, you know, the season of giving, the season of love. And so like when I like lose track of like those principles and core values in everyday life, not just in Scentsy, like I'm a mess, right? Like I just, you know. So anyway, I wanted to talk about them and how like I've kind of noticed where I've like fallen off the beam with them as far as Scentsy goes and how I hope to get more back on the beam with it. And I hope that in doing this I can be like transparent and like hold myself accountable to my peers because this is a family. And when I'm aligning myself with this family, then I feel more connected and I feel better about myself. But when I'm like focused on just me and just hitting my numbers or promoting or whatever, when I'm like focused on me, and I like lose track of the fact that we're a family, well, one, I'm never successful because I'm always going to want more. I'm never going to be satisfied with where I'm at. And two, like, it just doesn't feel good. You know, like, I don't feel good. So, for those of you who don't know, the three core values of Scentsy are simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. And they're like so ideal, right? Like when you think of like being generous and being simple and being authentic, like those are really, really important goals. And like I have those goals because, well, they just sound really good, right? And I know people like in this business who are generous and who are authentic and who are simple and they're successful. And when I'm like driving away from that path, I get mean and I get generic and I get complicated, like the opposite of those. So I wanted to kind of talk about them and also like just remind myself and everyone to be patient with themselves. Like that's been on my heart too lately, and that like I have these goals that I like want now. You know, like it's been almost 2 years since I've been with Scentsy. You know, I'm still a lead consultant and blah, 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 blah. And like all the noise goes like in my head, right? Like you're not good enough. And all these other people are promoting and all these people are having like crazy PRV months. And like the lie is loud, y'all. And like when it's going, I call her the Danielle, Danyell. And when the Danielle is going, she's louder than like standing right in the center of a Pearl Jam concert. For real. She's loud and she's a lie. But when she gets it going, like I get that more ambitious and that more competitive and that more crazy, not authentic, not generous, and not simple. When I'm focused on like the wrong thing, right? But like focusing on the right thing can sometimes turn negative, and I start focusing on it too much to where it becomes this like green-headed monster, right? So I have to learn to be patient with myself. That's like another, it's not necessarily like a core value, one of the 3 core values of Scentsy, but it's a principle that like I need to incorporate in my business and in my personal life as well. Like man, I'm still a lead consultant, but guess what? I've hit lead numbers consistently for 8 months now. And this time last year, I was up for cancellation. Well, in January, I had no sales in October. No, I had sales in October. I had no sales in November, no sales in December. And I was up for cancellation in January because I was like, I don't even want to do this anymore. Like I'd gotten away from the core values. I had gotten away from like my goals. And I was bitter and resentful and like just real angry, you know? I had like bitterness in my heart. And like, and this is another thing that kind of goes along with, well, I don't want to skip ahead, but I hope I remember. But I would like see people scrolling Scentsy stuff on Facebook, and I was so removed from Scentsy. Like I was still in the groups and I saw people posting, but I like completely missed Tinselgeddon or whatever it's called. Like people were so like bent out of shape about the tinsel warmer and how it sold out really quickly, but people were charged or whatever thing that happened that was wrong that Scentsy made right. Like I completely didn't even hear about that. I was so removed from Scentsy because I wasn't making goals fast enough. And guess what? I wasn't working for those goals at all. I wasn't. Like I would post here and there on Facebook. I wasn't involved in the Scentsy culture. I wasn't watching live trainings. I wasn't involved. I was bitter. September and October, I was okay. And my grandmother got sick. And it's not an excuse. Like, I've seen Christina, I've seen other people post videos about how, like, they were working their business in the hospital while their parents were ill. You know, like, it's not an excuse for me to say, like, my grandmother was sick. Because it was actually at my grandmother's memorial that someone ordered Scentsy from me. So that's kind of what got me back in January after she had passed away. So like there was a blessing, I don't know, in that, like, but I was so bitter with when my grandmother passed away or when she got sick that I didn't want anything to do with Scentsy. And people would post like all these really great things they were promoting and they were hitting numbers, and I would just scroll through because I was bitter. And like, I don't want to live like that today because one, well, it just doesn't serve any good, right? It doesn't serve me, it doesn't serve God, and it doesn't serve you. And two, there's just a better way to live. Like, and Scentsy is generous, and Scentsy is authentic, and Scentsy is simple. So anyway, I wanted to talk real quick because I know that Online Steps to Success is coming on soon, and I don't want to waste anyone's time, but be patient with yourself. I wasn't patient with myself, and I almost gave up, okay? So I have to look for, like, the small triumphs within the goal for success because wanting to be somewhere where I'm not, or where I'm not even ready to go. Like, I wasn't ready to hit lead numbers consistently last October. I've hit them consistently for 8 months. So like, it's all about like your journey, right? So anyway, your time will come if you practice the basic skills like every month, you know, like, so let's start off with, simplicity. Like, I've always heard, like, sell it like it's your favorite friggin' candy bar. When I'm like doing the fluff on my Facebook and I'm trying to sell a warmer that I don't even own, you know, like, oh, look at this really pretty blah blah blah, I don't even own it, so how do I appreciate it, right? How do I appreciate a picture of it? So I have to be like simple with it, because if I'm trying to like build it up, like with the right words to say, and like, oh, you know, how's this gonna look, and am I using the right emojis? Because let's face it, like, I overthink everything. When I'm doing that, like, I'm just like running off track, you know, like running off track. But when I'm able to be simple with it, which ties into authentic also, I think, like if I'm simple with my posts or simple with like recruiting, like, man, sell it like your favorite candy bar. It's not a big deal. But when I go into like huge crazy spiels of like, okay, your first goal is shooting star, your second goal is sensational starts 1, 2, and 3, and then you want to hit certified and blah blah blah, and you get paid back, you know, you get paid back 100% of your initial investment when you hit shooting star. I mean, blah blah blah. Like, simple, you know, like, give it to them straight, but give it to them simple. Sell it like your favorite candy bar. So the next one for generosity, like, I am big on fluff. Like, I believe 100% that like fluff goes a long way. All right. But I also know now when to do it. I used to do fluff at 2:00 in the afternoon. No, like, don't make samples at 2:00 in the afternoon. Don't wrap your packages at 2:00 in the afternoon, because at 2:00 in the afternoon, I can reach out and do follow up to my customers, right? At 2:00 in the afternoon, I can be out passing out samples that I made at a different time. And that different time is usually like, for me, like, I'm a night owl, so I'll make samples when all my customers are like already asleep, or when stores are closed, so I can't be like passing out samples or being like this crazy Scentsy lady. I usually make samples and do fluff and do my mailers at night, because that's better time for me to do them. And I'm not wasting time that is like income producing activity needs to be done during the day, if that makes sense. So anyway, so generosity, like, I do, like, my last 25 customers receive a sample of the month, and those 25 customers may not be buying something from that sample of the month. Okay. It may not produce income at that time immediately, but it's generous. And I believe in karma. Okay. Another thing with generous, I was talking earlier about, like, I would scroll through and see all these people promoting to stuff. Like, in the middle of this bitterness that I had, one of my favorite Scentsy people in the world promoted to director, and I missed it. Shelby promoted to director, I think, around this time, maybe, or maybe it wasn't Shelby. Somebody promoted, and like, I love this person, but my bitterness and my like resentment and my it's not happening fast enough had me so blinded that I like didn't even congratulate her. I didn't hit like. I wasn't hitting like. So this is me getting kind of honest and raw about this, and I fail a lot too, but I'm trying. Over the last couple months, I've been trying to be more aware of it. But when you see that someone has joined, when you see that someone has promoted, when you see that someone is super close to earning a goal, a shooting star, certified, either a promotion, a shooting star, a sensational start, or if someone has joined, like, you can't really see it in Fresh Scents, and I don't know about warming up, but in Wake, Pray, Slay, when I post something about one of my recruits getting ready to promote, I can see who's seen it. I can see who's scrolling. We can all see who's scrolling. And I'm guilty of it too, where I'll see something and I won't right away say, welcome, congratulations, you go girl, so proud of you, you know, some sort of GIF or emoji or thumbs up, like, that goes a long way. And we're a family, and like, creating a culture of generosity and authenticity and simplicity, like, it's important. And we live our lives, like, we work our business on social media. I'm on my phone all the time. Like, I told my boyfriend the other day, he thought I was like playing some game or just like on Facebook. And I said, I'm working. I'm doing follow-ups right now. And he's like, how are you working? You're on your phone. This is how I work. We spend the majority of our work time on social media, building relationships on social media. So I need to give back to my family. I need to build relationships within our community, right? I need to be involved in the Scentsy culture within our family, within Wake, Pray, Slay. If you are on Mallory or Shelby's team, then you're in Saved by the Bar. Saved by the Bar, bring back my Saved by the Bar. Sorry. If you're in, if you're in Saved by the Bar, Wake, Pray, Slay, warming up with the bar or the warming up with the believers, and you're in Fresh Sense of Smell Air, then like you've got a huge family. You have a plethora of people that you can utilize for information, experience. Like their experience is very valuable, you know, like these people have been doing this for some time. So like nothing I think is original at all. And two, everything I think has not only been done, but people have failed and perfected what I've already thought of like doing, right? It's already been done. Nothing that I do is completely original, which brings me to, so anyway, when you see someone like making goals and like kicking butt, like thumbs up, just a thumbs up, just a, hey, proud of you, because that creates a sense of generosity in the team pages. And I'm gonna hold myself accountable, and I'm gonna work harder on that. Like I know it's a lot. We have a lot of groups. If you're in Saved by the Bar, you're in 4 groups. Unless you're in Mallory's team, then you might be on 5 groups because Mallory's a director now. So you might be in 5 groups on Facebook. That's a lot of welcomes. That's a lot of way to goes. But do it on at least 1 or 2. I like feeling special and I like being recognized. And I think that goes along with that whole like, you know, like when I get off the path of generosity, when I want people to recognize me, like, but I like recognizing other people too. I like happy mail. I like postcards. I like recognition for my hard work, and other people do too. And when they're close to hitting a goal, just thumbs up it. When someone joins or they're thinking about joining, tell them your 3 favorite things about Scentsy. If you do that to 2 people a day that are thinking of joining or close to promotion, those are 2 more people who feel a part of. Those are 2 more people who feel connected to our family. Just an idea. So that brings me into authenticity, which I struggle with for 2 reasons. And this is big. So I struggle with authenticity, 1, because sometimes I have a lot of fear and low self-esteem. And I question, like I was saying earlier with simplicity, like I question, like, does this sound right? Is this the right picture? Oh, my flash wasn't on. Let's try it with a flash. Or, oh my gosh, I have this is it right here in this mole, and I need a filter. And I get so in my head about not being simple and not being authentic that I turn into somebody else. Another reason that I struggle with authenticity is, like I mentioned earlier, like every thought I have has pretty much been done before. So like when I'm scrolling through Facebook and I see something that Dawn posts, I'm going to tell you something. Dawn Schaefer, I think she is fucking genius. And if she watches this, then she's going to know that I basically like drink her bathwater, but not really, but kind of, because she's a genius. And not only is she a genius, like, man, she just does not give up, you know, like she is resilient and she's fucking awesome. But anyway, when Dawn posts a picture, I want to snatch it up. When she posts something, I want to copy it and post it, because man, Dawn has reached these goals and she's going to Cancun, and I'm not going to Cancun, and man, I wanted to go to Cancun, but Dawn's going to Cancun, and you know, maybe if I post what she posts, and so then I start comparing myself and comparing my business to other people, which takes me away from generosity because I'm being selfish, takes me away from simplicity because I'm all up in my head, and it takes me away from authenticity because I'm hoping my business grows based on Dawn's or based on Tressa's. I mean, and we are such a family, and we do share and we do encourage, but like, I can't tell you how many times I have screenshotted a picture that didn't belong to me and thought I was entitled to use it just because it was on social media. And I had this like awakening one day where it was like, whoa, that's not my PRV. Those aren't my pictures. I did not buy the champagne warmer. So I don't need to screenshot the champagne warmer if Dawn posts it, because that's her PRV, man. She bought that. She earned that picture. So, you know, that's kind of like out in left field. And if you ask a lot of people like, hey, can I like borrow this post or borrow this picture? Like, most people won't care. But the idea that I had the audacity or like the nerve to think I was entitled to take it and post it as my own, like, that's not authentic. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling. I really don't know how long I've been going. It doesn't really tell me. So I'm going to kind of wrap up, but I just want to make sure that I covered everything. I covered be patient with yourself, practice your basic skills, you know, watch YouTube videos and get ideas and be consistent with them, because if you're consistently doing something like the last video I did was about consistency and like finding systems within the chaos. It was not original. It was based on I think it was August 14th's Online Steps to Success. It was about like being consistent, and like when you're consistent with things, then eventually like you'll see the payoff, you know? So be patient and be consistent. Be patient, be consistent. So that was the first thing. Simplicity. Sell it like it's your family. Sell it like it's your favorite candy bar. Because if you're getting all crazy complicated in it, then even you're going to lose interest. Swear. Generosity. Give more than you expect to receive, and you're going to receive in the long run. I promise you. Those 25 samples I send out every month, they may not generate 25 orders, but it's generous, and people enjoy Happy Mail because usually they're getting bills in the mail, or they're getting coupons in the mail that like they're not going to use. So generosity, and that goes like on more levels than just Happy Mail and samples, but an authenticity. Be yourself. Don't let fear or like what you think people are going to think of you like screw you from being authentic. Be yourself. It's your business. So if if my Scentsy business, if Witty and Wickless is my business, why am I modeling it after Dawn Gets Waxy? If Witty and Wickless is my business, and that's another thing with authenticity, brand yourself. Brand yourself. Be yourself. Why would I try to sell? Because people, this is another thing I learned. People aren't necessarily buying Scentsy. Like, yeah, they're buying Scentsy from you, but they're buying Scentsy from you. And they can buy Scentsy from anyone. They can get on the website and they can order Scentsy from anybody in their zip code. Why are they ordering it from you? Brand yourself. Be authentic. Be yourself. Why would I model my business after Wickless Empire? That's Tress's business. You know, like, who am I and what are people buying? They're buying me. They're putting their faith in me. So, authenticity, don't let fear or self-esteem run you over. Okay, you guys have a good night, and bye.